a new website called I Love Libraries. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it. It is designed, it's the first ever website for the public. It's designed to attract people who are interested in libraries, and in the process of giving them things like information on book reviews and news about libraries, to also give them an opportunity to become more involved in promoting libraries at the local, state, and national level. We're at this point running, I think, about 2,500 hits a day on the site. That is just a beginning. We're going to continue to play with this. We need to be able to create a site that will attract people that are interested in libraries and want to do something, and get them back so that they can become more effective advocates for you. I think the second thing we need to do for library funding is to do just a better job of tracking it and its impact on users. One of the problems with library funding statistics, as you're well aware, is that by the time you have them, they're 2 years old. We need to be able to get a much better sense as to what's happening. It's like knowing that a truck hit you last week. It's very difficult to develop strategies. So that the goal has been to try and collect more and more up-to-date information on what really is happening with library funding, so that we can then increase public awareness at the national level. And what that means is that as there's national coverage, it helps to increase public awareness so that we can get then coverage locally. One of the things we have been successful in doing is working with the Gates Foundation to begin really developing, under a Gates grant, just much more detailed information on library funding projections, because without the basic information on where we are, it's very difficult to try and make any improvements. Third, we need to make plans. We need to have plans in place at the local level, at the state level, at the national level. The truth is that vision drives funding growth. No one is going to give you money just because you need money. It would be great if it were that way. But the reality is, it's your vision as to how your library can be better that's ultimately going to drive funding growth. And then fourth, I think we need to really assert our role in education. Look at what libraries do for children. We need to go, I think, head-to-head with the educational establishment, because in most communities, $100 is spent for every dollar spent on the library. $1,000 at the state level is spent on education for every dollar spent on libraries, and probably $10,000 at the federal level is spent on education for every dollar spent on libraries. How many times have you talked with a politician who tells you that they're for education? What's the first thing they cut? Libraries. I think our goal needs to be to say, how can you say that you care about education and that libraries need to be cut? Libraries are the other half of the educational system. Fifth, I think we need to use the growing body of research that documents the value of libraries. There have been a number of key studies, particularly in the school library area, that show that school libraries have a significant impact on student achievement. In Massachusetts, we had a study that showed that a child with a school library was going to do a letter grade better than a child without a school library. That's a significant finding. At the same time, I think that the educational community and funding authorities tend to be very, very reluctant to accept that information. We've got some studies relating to the value of public libraries, and I've seen some now with regard to the impact of academic libraries. We really need to begin to use this information much more effectively to get the word out to the public about the difference that libraries make in our communities. Okay, so the second challenge, other than improving funding, what can we really do to improve library services in this country? I think the first thing that we can do is to continue to attract the best and the brightest to the profession. Notice I say continue to attract, because it's clear that we are the best and the brightest here today. I always laugh because we're very concerned, I don't know if you are, but sometimes the generation that may be close to retirement is very concerned that we won't be able to find people who can fill the positions that we have. All I know is that the people whose place I took thought that we had gone to hell in a handbasket when I got the job. So the reality is that there is a great upcoming generation, but I do think that recruitment is a key issue. I think one of the things that we fight is the image of librarians. I had a friend who was on the ALA review committee for scholarships. And they said, you know, if I have to read another application where the person says, I want to become a librarian because I like books, that they were going to retch. And in fact, one of the problems is that libraries are not just about books, they're about people. And I think one of the things that we need to emphasize is that we really need people in the profession. And that in fact, this is not just a place for people whose nerves were shattered in the war, where we can quietly listen to the books crumble in the background. Second, I think we can make our current librarians better librarians. And that means education and that means training. We need to continue to have more opportunities for professional development and training at all levels, from basic computer skills to management theory. I will have to say that over the last decade, regional systems in particular have made, I think, an enormous difference in the amount of continuing education that's available to us. One of the things that we're very proud of at ALA is we have a new Public Library Administrator's Certificate. And it is a certificate designed to prove that people have, or to rather give people the competencies that they need to be effective administrators. For instance, no one teaches you in library school how to defend a budget before a finance committee. That's one of the things they never get to in the curriculum. So there are many skills that you need in order to be an effective public library administrator that you don't get